Welcome back to the digital learning platform. Subject is Principles of Foreign Exchange for 6th semester students and the topic is Foreign Exchange Risk Part 2. So, in the previous session we discussed regarding foreign exchange risk, the meaning of foreign exchange risk, what is exposure, the three different types of exposure: transaction exposure, translation exposure, and economic exposure. Among those three, the second one, that is the translation exposure, is very important. Let me tell you once again the meaning of translation exposure. This kind of exposure is faced by MNCs which have their subsidiary firms in different countries. Balance sheets, income statements of subsidiary firms have to be consolidated or converted with parent company. During such conversion or translation, exchange rate may differ. So it is also said to be consolidation exposure as it relates to consolidation of balance sheet. Even I gave the example of an MNC of India which have opened its subsidiary in America, France, Japan, etc. So investment by Indian MNC in these subsidiaries is made in that respective currencies. Parent company, that is the Indian company, has to prepare a consolidated or combined balance sheet including balance sheet values of all the subsidiaries. Balance sheet which is in foreign currency is to be converted into Indian rupees. The change in exchange rate may affect preparation of consolidated balance sheet. So, in translation exposure, there may be exchange gain or loss occurring due to the difference in exchange rate at the beginning and end of accounting period. So it is very important from the even from the point of examination, and this under this you need to study different methods of translation. So there are total 4 methods of translation. The first one is current method, second one is current and non-current method, third one is monetary or non-monetary method, and the fourth one is temporal method. So one by one we'll study this. Okay, you have your current and non-current method. Under this current and non-current methods, the assets, that is the current assets and liabilities, are valued at current rate and non-current assets and liabilities at historical rate. So what is this current rate? So current rate is nothing but the prevailing exchange rate, the date on which the balance sheet is being prepared. This is said to be current rate. Then what is this historical rate? So historical rate refers to the exchange rate values in the beginning. For example, let me give: an Indian company has invested in American subsidiary for 5 years ago, before 5 years. If the exchange rate at that time was rupees 50 per dollar, every consolidation of accounting item will be converted at historical rate of rupees 50, because before 5 years ago, what was the exchange rate? The exchange rate was rupees 50 per dollar. So the exchange, we can say the historical rate or the historical value is 50 per dollar. Okay, so then what do you mean by monetary and non-monetary method? So under this method, all monetary items are valued at current rates and non-monetary items at historical rate. So now we'll discuss regarding the monetary as well as non-monetary items in the next slide. Okay, so as I told you, you know what do you mean by current rate, isn't it? So current rate is nothing but it is the prevailing exchange rate, the date on which the balance sheet is being prepared, and historical rate is nothing but the exchange rate values in the beginning. Now next one will come to the temporal method. So under this temporal method, this method is very similar to the monetary as well as non-monetary method except inventory. So under this method, the inventory and investments are translated at current rate if they are valued at the market price. Only fixed assets are recorded at historical rate under this temporal method. All remaining items are recorded at the current rate. Okay. Next comes the current rates. So under this method, all assets, liabilities, income as well as expenses are translated at current rates of exchange. Now we'll understand what are the current assets, what are the current liabilities, non-current assets, non-current liabilities, which are the monetary items, non-monetary items. Okay. So this you have to remember when you are solving the problems. Okay. So which are the current assets? Current assets are inventory, receivables, cash and bank, prepaid expenses and accrued income. Which are the current liabilities? Payables, bank OD, outstanding expenses, income received in advance. Now, which are the non-current assets? Fixed and intangible assets like plant, building, goodwill, patent, etc. Which are the non-current liabilities? Non-current liabilities includes capital, that is equity as well as preference, reserves, profit and loss account, long-term liabilities like debentures, loans, etc. So when you are solving problems under current and non-current method, you have to remember which are the current assets with the current liabilities, non-current assets and non-current liabilities. So now in case of monetary items, so which I told you regarding the monetary and non-monetary. Under this monetary and non-monetary, items of assets and liabilities are classified into monetary as well as non-monetary. Which are the monetary items then? The monetary items are short-term receivables like debtors, bills receivable and cash as well as bank balance. Short and long term payables like creditors, bills payable, and long term loans. Now, which are the non monetary items? The non monetary items like stock as well as fixed assets. So, you need to remember this because you are going to solve the problems based on this for 15 marks, which is going to come for the exams. Okay. Now, as I told you, the meaning of historical rate or value. What do you mean by historical rate or value? So, as I told you, it refers to exchange rate values in the beginning. Even I give the example also. An Indian company has invested in American subsidiary 5 years ago. That means before 5 years. Okay. If exchange rate at that time was rupees 50 per dollar, every consolidation of accounting item will be recorded at historical cost of rupees 50 because before 5 years ago, what was the exchange rate? The exchange rate was rupees 50 per dollar. So you are going to convert now in the future based on this historical rate. Okay. Now what is current rate? It refers to prevailing exchange rate, the date on which the balance sheet being prepared. The difference of these assets as well as liabilities due to translation refers to loss or profit. Okay, hope I think you understood the consequences here. Thank you.